Hey everybody, I'm Lee with Olsen Equine, and I hope you are staying cool wherever you are. It is hot and dry in Texas. So today we're going to talk about some negative plantar angles. So palmar angles is the front, plantar is the back. So when we're looking at this horse right here, we're going to look at, you can see the coronary band. So if you could slide back as far as you can, and if you could imagine a line, where would this line go if it went with the coronary band? So it'd be somewhere up at the belly, right? Somewhere up here, where our goal is somewhere in the knee. And that's just to judge if you don't have x-rays. But we actually have some pictures of this horse, and as you can tell, they're not terrible. I was really expecting them to be worse. But as you can tell, they are negative, but there is a lot to trim off. So step one for me is going to be try to figure out if I can trim it out or not. So step one for figuring this out without the use of x-rays is clearly defining the apex of the frog. I do not want to over trim it, but when you get down to live frog and the real apex, which is right there, now I know where the sole and the frog meet. So now I know there is that much depth. That is one way to know how much depth you have from here to there. So now, same rule as before, you don't want to overdo it. Oop. But you want to get anything out of there that's not supposed to be there. And that'll make it a lot more clear what we need to trim off. Once again, I do not plan to make this horse sore or sensitive in any way. But I do want to get off anything that's excessive. Hey, buddy. Okay. So as we look at that, you can tell that's how much sole depth we have. So all right. Now I'm getting to where I don't want to take much more than that off for a hind foot. So I believe what this horse has is caudal heel failure is why he's negative. So it's always a good precaution to test the entire foot when you have a horse that's struggling. But most of the time, horses with heel issues are going to be sore in the heels. Shocker. But come to find out, this horse also has had a history of kissing spines. He's had surgery and he's supposed to be doing better. He's had back injections, SI injections. That is all tied to negative plantar angles. So does that mean a farrier ruined him, wrecked him, crippled him? No, absolutely not. Confirmation did. He needs help and we're going to try to help him as much as we can. So keep watching. And you can think of this as a flat tire. So it's flat in the back. I have trimmed it plenty short on the bottom. I still need to come in here on the top But trimming the top is not going to help me if the back is failing. So you can see this foot has already been dubbed over at the toe. This should be straight from here to here. So someone has tried to correct this by going after the toe. Like I was saying, trimming this, over trimming this is not going to help this, and that is called caudal heel failure. So, not going to be doing much to this. Probably shouldn't really be doing anything because it's just dubbed off. Horses still need their toe. So this is a barrel horse, and one of our favorite barrel horse shoes is the Eventer Plus. It's a great using shoe. It doesn't need much to fit. Just going to straighten it up, bring it in. We like using clips on the hind feet, but you need to set them to the angle of the hoof wall. So the shape is really close, like I said. I'm just going to tidy it up just a little bit, bring it in. Set the clip to the hoof wall. So when you're shaping the clip to the hoof wall, the thing that you want to do is stick to the base, because if you get up to the top, you'll just tweak it in. So when you're getting up here, if you look straight down at Sandy, come here, you want to think about the horse's foot sitting right in the shoe. So the clip should just taper straight up to the shoe, how it looks right here. So as I'm doing that, I can tell this part isn't going to fit. Making sure it's level. And as I was talking, I let the shoe get a little too cold, so I'm going to put it back in, get the clips hot, go back and hot fit. All right, there we go. See how those clips are hot? I'll take it over to the foot, but I can already tell that this isn't going to fit, so I might as well fix it right now. There's a lot of fancy tools out there for hot fitting shoes. This is my favorite. So the front half of my shoe fits pretty well. Back half doesn't fit very good at all. So you can tell I need to bring it in there and there. But as far as the clip fit goes, if you look over here, you can tell it's pretty close. One other thing you can do if you're working on concrete is you can just tap it in like that. You can tell that I'm not trying to come off the toe a long ways. I'm just trying to fit the toe, because it's not the toe's fault. It's got caudal heel failure. So we still need to fit here, and then we're going to put some support across the back half of the foot. So as we look at the shoe, after you burn it on, you can tell where I need to bring it in right there, and right there, just a little bit. One of the many advantages to hot fitting. So now, all I have to do is wherever it needs to come in, I put that on top, and it's cold. The shoe's cold, but I'll still get it done. Same thing over here. Wherever those marks of the hoof are, just make sure it's level again. There we go. It's on, but we're going to use some comfort mix, and the key is keeping it in air conditioning or in a cooler, because as you can tell, it sets up very fast. So if you're anywhere where it's hot, like Texas, you're going to need to slow it down. You can still do it, you're just going to have to move very fast. Way faster than I want to move. Thank you all. Let's go ahead and mix it up. And if you've ever had a negative experience with comfort mix or dental impression material, pour-in pads, any of it, a lot of these horses that need a pour-in pad, that are thin-soled, negative caudal heel failure, literally any reason why you'd put a pad on, are probably going to be a little sensitive. So whenever you put some clay underneath it, well, that prevents any sharp points from happening. Nice mix. Normally when I do it, I put way too much, but Hollis gave me the perfect amount. Okay, so fun thing about clips is look at this. See how it fits just in front of it there? That's why you use clips right there. So one important thing is to get the foot down so you can load some full pressure on it. Make the horse actually stand on it. You can see how it's squirting out there. It's very important to do that while it's still soft. So look at this. As you can tell, I fit the shoe right where I wanted to fit it at the toe, because it's not the toe's fault that there's caudal heel failure. The problem is back here. Think of it as a flat tire. So just like I was talking about how it's domed right here, rasping the toe isn't the secret. So you can see how this is just now starting to set up, still soft. That would not be the case if we wouldn't have had it in the office. That's the advantage of having a nice hammer like this. Driving a nail is all about feel to me. And I knew that first one wasn't going to work. Just like this one's a little high. But bought the whole nail. Might as well use the whole thing. And a high nail is a happy nail. The only issue is when you look, you can feel this one's right there. It's a little too high. We call that tips out. But it'll be your strongest nail that you have. And if you've ever tried to pull one out, you know what I mean. Okay, so when you put too much in, it's nice to tidy it up. So this is the Eventer Plus. This is one of our favorite barrel horse shoes because it has the flat heels, then it's got traction for the majority of the shoe. But a lot of horses, when they come into a barrel, they need to sit down on their heels. So when they do that, they're going to have just a little bit of slide. Not much. But a lot of horses, if you don't have that, they'll start bouncing or they'll stop really entering the ground because they know they're going to get stuck. There we go. Check that out. All right, let's recap. So horse comes in, barrel horse, kissing spine, SI issues, negative angles on the hind feet, negative plantar angles, right? So what we ended up doing is we tried to see if we could trim it out. X-rays were taken after we trimmed, and it was greatly improved, and it was actually positive. So it started off what we would call very flat, negative. Negative should be pointing up, but it was flat, okay? So we trimmed it, and it's better. But you have to remember, we're shoeing for the end of the cycle, not just today. And with the heels wanting to crush, caudal heel failure, it really needed some additional support. So we ended up doing the 3D Frog support pad with Comfort Mix, paired with the Eventer Plus. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. One thing, since we're standing right here, Dr. Reese Hand and I, and Lizzie Iverson, we did this article in Western Horseman. It was a huge hit. Lizzie did a great job. Reese did a good job. So ultimately, you can find this on Western Horseman, but ultimately, the short version is based on black and white. And it talks about x-rays and about how on tricky horses, it's the only way to really get things done. And you can guess without them, and sometimes we guess pretty darn close. But if you want to not waste a shoeing, not waste 6 months, go get some x-rays taken for your farrier, or better yet, have the vet meet your farrier somewhere so they can x-ray them, trim them, x-ray them, shoe them, x-ray them to confirm. So that's what we did. I hope you liked it. I hope you're having a great day, and God bless America.